Okay, so I'm not going to be able to touch on things in the same way as normal because of the pollution setting for noise. I didn't get the privacy today to properly do this. I'm not recording today. This conversation. Do it again tomorrow. Plans. I just rewrote out my notes here. I kind of exact. I have to present more. It's a note. Posture is a good note. Yesterday's is a good note. Well, the last one was kind of good. I like the different style. We'll see how that goes. What do you do? Yeah, this is going well. I think it's awkward doing this with other people making lots of noise. So I have to focus. Old Wisdom with New Eyes is a good potential title for a potential project. The more personal thing has definitely affected the quality. I definitely worked up a certain type of steel, and going for the personalization is going to take a little bit of refinement again, noticeably. Today is 8 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're gonna use a good sign. I almost didn't do it today. I was very busy. I wonder if you can hear. I'm pretty beat up after today, tired, very boring day. Sat around a lot, doing nothing, get nothing for it, as always. Unfortunate, but that's how it is. Let's see. Be personal. I need to be more personal. Oh, the script. Script is a good idea. Well, quick summary, then explain. The quick summary is kind of got away from that. That was an early note. Reviewing and refining my notes down to a smaller and more legible chunk definitely was good practice to get that through. I really don't know how to do this. I feel really awkward with the noise pollution in the background. I don't feel like I've got the same. Plus, it's tight. I'm tired after a long day. Well, I guess I should start. So, you know you're not what you could be. You know that there is many things you are doing wrong. Quite often you'll be encountered with this situation and in your gut you'll know what the right answer is, but you don't choose it. When you do choose it, it feels good. And you don't foster that to the full extent of its possibility. Where is that coming from? What is that? That's your instinctual knowledge towards good and evil, your evolved circuits for evolution, your evolved circuits for faith. The human world is so complex. We have a whole circuit for faith. It's like the chaos of the universe is so magnificently large that we have a simpler circuit to handle that. We just have to trust that circuit, blame things on God, and trust that it's God because our minds work in a very social capacity. We work together in groups and we think very socially. So if you outsource that thinking to that circuit that's evolved for that thinking on the more complex issues, you will have more success than trying to rationalize it. Rationalizing is fine for analysis and for deep interpretation, but for a quick answer, if you don't need to do out, you can get out your calculator. You don't need to do the math all longhand. Doing it rationally, which is longhand, is like rat rejection of God. The rationalist scientific sphere who are atheistic and secular have to rediscover all the ancient wisdom that all our ancestors discovered. As people, and groups told stories, those that led to the maximum individual and group success outcompeted the others. Those that wisdom that leads to maximum individual and group success that evolved alongside our faith circuit exists. There's no need to reject it. We can look at the old wisdom with our new eyes. We don't have to throw it out the window and try and rediscover it all. And the fact is, we will be outcompeted. Those who do that will be outcompeted in the long run. It's not the most successful strategy. You can look at it with a rational perspective and say, okay, why was this strategy more successful? Does this still apply? There's a gold mine of wisdom and knowledge to be found there. In mathematics, it's the golden rule, which is game theory, the Pareto distribution, and the Matthew principle. Like 2,000 years ago, when the most prevalent, most successful um, foundation of wisdom, we have these rules that we've discovered within the last 100 years mathematically. So these fundamental rules of reality have already been discovered, and I'm even there's plenty you could do. I might even go after one of them and try and rationalize it. Like there's a fount of knowledge. Like since activating my faith circuit in this way, and you know this, like there's a level where it sounds and it rings true. You know there's something to that. And you know that because your faith circuit's been desperate for a more guiding principle. It's been operating on a metaphysics that isn't complete, doesn't quite take advantage of all your ethics. You're constantly doubting it, and rather than trust it, you doubt it, and you end up making poor decisions. You end up having a moment where you know what the right answer is. You know what the right way to respond in a situation or to act is, and you don't do it. Why don't you do it? Because you don't have the right habit. You don't fully activate your faith circuit. And if you, it, it doesn't have to be a physical, corporeal God, omnipotent being, for the wisdom and knowledge of our ancestors and the circuit to be fully comprehended and used as if there is one. There is a God. It's good as far as you're concerned, imaginary or real. It's going. You could call it God, and you should. I would say that you go a step further and start believing it. Believing it at the very least as a metaphysical, more fundamentally valuable story of wisdom, set of stories of wisdom. It's like, yes, contemporary theater has some level of wisdom that is more appropriate to the times, but it doesn't have that fundamental value, that's a deep value that is timeless. It's not just a timeless classic. You can go and read ancient books that are good and get something out of them, but there's ancient books that lead to more, like massively, lot more uh, amounts of success for you and your community and everyone around you. I mean, by all means, pick the other ones as well, but there's real serious instinctual value that you know in your instinct you're not taking advantage of.